The suavest thing a man can say at a club is undoubtedly, bring in a new batch. Just as I said it, I saw my ex-girlfriend walk in with a group of long-legged beauties. I lit a premium Huazi cigarette, pointed at her with disdain, and said, I like them ugly but interesting. I'll take that one. My boss stormed over and smacked me across the face. That's the goddamn client rep. We were close to sealing a major deal at work, so the boss took us core team members out to a high-end nightclub. This is the most luxurious club by the river packed every night. Without the right connections, you can't even get in. Tonight, you guys are getting a taste. Absolutely, mister. Tony, it's an honor just tagging along. I pulled out a Huazi, lit it for the boss myself. It was a special box I bought just for tonight. Top tier indeed. The girls were all stunning, with every type you could imagine. Some wore evening gowns, others in maid outfits, and a few in sleek business suits. Every single one, tall, slim, and stunning, easily over 5'7" on average. They filed into the private room, smiling sweetly, and greeted us in unison. Good evening, boss. Their voices were pure sugar. Tony looked like he'd been hypnotized. The rest of us couldn't take our eyes off them either. I mean, what man could resist? Tony picked a bespectacled girl in a black stockinged uniform, probably trying to compensate for how plain his actual secretary was. Carlos, our tech nerd, chose a soft-faced, round-cheeked cutie. Me? It was my first time, and I felt too shy to choose. Before long, everyone else had made their pick. The marketing manager grinned and said, No worries, I'll bring in a few more. Take your time, gentlemen. She whispered into her walkie-talkie, and soon the door opened. In walked a woman dressed in an all-white suit, in a room full of skirts and heels. That sharp white pantsuit stood out. Then I took a closer look. Holy shit! It was Jennifer Delaney, my ex. 2 years ago, she dumped me for some chubby, greasy trust fund brat. But karma's a bitch. Not only did she fail to land herself a rich husband, now she's working as a hostess in a nightclub. And me? I'm the one here spending money. I'm the client. I sat up straighter, pride swelling in my chest. I pointed grandly and said, Mama-san no, manager her. I'll take her. The marketing manager gave Jennifer a quick look, then glanced back at me with a faint, Right after, my boss rushed over and slapped me hard. That's the goddamn client rep! I froze. Tony had already stepped up with a warm handshake. Miss Jennifer, welcome! Jennifer smiled, shook his hand, then looked over at me. Mr. Tony, your employees are certainly enthusiastic. They're just young and inexperienced. Look at that drunk before even touching a drop. Please don't take offense, Miss Jennifer, Tony said with a forced laugh, shooting daggers at me with his eyes. I forced a grin through the pain. Evening, Miss Jennifer. Quite the refined taste, choosing this place to talk business, I muttered. Who knew women came to nightclubs for meetings, too? Reading the room, the marketing manager led the other girls out, and just like that, I became the only unlucky bastard left without company. But Jennifer wasn't done with me. When it came time for karaoke, she picked a duet. Mr. Tony, I see one of your employees is partnerless. Mind if he sings with me? Then she turned to me with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. That okay with you? Okay, my ass. But faced with Tony's death stare, I had no choice but to plaster on a fake service smile. Of course, the customer is always right. As long as you're happy, miss. Jennifer, a real man knows when to bend. What's a little humiliation for the sake of business? After the song, Tony used up what little flowery vocabulary he had to shower her with compliments. His sweet talk made my teeth ache, but Jennifer seemed to eat it up. She kept queuing up song after song, 2, 3. While everyone else was cozying up to their girls, drinking and laughing, I was stuck belting out karaoke like a free club gigolo, my throat turning raw. After 5 songs, she finally gave me a break. Just as I sat down, she walked over with a glass in hand. Luke, right? You sing well. Mind sharing a few drinks to soothe that throat? Who the hell drinks to soothe a throat? She was starting to remind me of those evil harem queens from palace dramas. Was she treating me like some pitiful side piece? Tony, of course, didn't give a damn. His eyes lit up like he'd struck gold. Not a problem at all. Let me introduce, this is Luke Dawson, one of our top tech leads. You can count on him, no doubt. Jennifer swirled her glass and smiled faintly. Oh, Mr. Luke does seem reliable. Not the kind of guy who'd stab someone in the back. I caught the dig. After we broke up, rumors spread through the entire department about her heartlessness, poor taste, and more. And yes, I started them. That little smear campaign cost her not just her reputation, but also her student council role. Not long after, she took a leave from school altogether. Tony had no idea about our history. He kept hyping up my skills and morals, oblivious to the fact that I was smiling like I was about to cry. By the end of the night, I was half dead from all the booze. Jennifer really seized the chance to get her revenge, pouring it on. Literally. Even so, Tony solemnly assigned me to escort Jennifer home. I passed out in the cab. When I came to, we were already out in the western suburbs. The driver turned around and asked, "Hey buddy, where exactly do you live? I've been driving for nearly 2 hours." Wait, what? That lady you were with said you live near Westside Park. Told me to drive this way and wake you when we got close. She what? I live in the east, Century Gardens area. So should I take you back? Hell yes. It's pitch black out here. I'm not getting out in the middle of nowhere. All right then. Just as I slumped back into the seat, something clicked. Driver, where exactly did she get off? Oh, the East Side Sunset Villas, not far from Century Gardens. Damn. That snake. I handed Tony an 800 yuan cab receipt. He looked at the receipt, then at me. What kind of game you playing, kid? You think I don't know she lives in a villa on the east side? It's a long story. Still, Tony signed off on the reimbursement. I think Jennifer's into you. Go get her. Her company's got a lot of projects coming up. Even if she throws us a few scraps, we'll be rolling in it. By the way, our company's pretty small. We usually take on the leftovers that big firms don't want, or subcontract work from those same big firms. No way Jennifer hated me so much she probably ground her teeth just thinking about me. What kind of idiot would throw himself back into that mess? Boss, I can't do this. If you really want to land the deal, best keep me far away from her. I didn't dare say that part out loud. You're giving up before even trying? I'm not telling you to sleep with her, damn it. Just stay close, keep tabs on the project. And hey, if something sparks between you two, neither of you is married. What's the harm, right? Your dad was my mentor. I gotta look out for you when opportunity knocks. I let out a sigh. There was no romance left between us, just grudges. Seeing my sour expression, Tony probably thought I was holding out for a bonus. What, you want results before action? He leaned in. Fine, I'll double your salary now. Once we secure the rest of Ning Cheng's contracts, your year-end bonus doubles too. Damn, if not for the Buddha, do it for the almighty dollar. Truth is, I just got out of the rental game last year, bought a tiny place of my own, sank all my savings into the down payment. That monthly mortgage hits hard. I figured, screw it. I'll just treat her like a queen if I have to. It's not like I haven't handled nightmare clients before. Just as I was thinking that, a pair of long, snowy white legs entered my peripheral vision. From the way she walked, I knew it was Jennifer. Mr. Tony, good to see you. I hear Luke's handling the follow-up on this project. The boss quickly rushed over. You didn't have to come in person. Why didn't you call me? I would have sent Luke down to meet you. That's when I learned Jennifer had proposed embedding a liaison from our company at Ningcheng under the guise of efficiency and faster coordination. And guess who got volunteered? I shot Tony, a look that cursed his entire extended family, but he just smiled like nothing happened and urged me to pack up and report to Ningcheng right away. Luke, this is a golden opportunity. You're on the inside now. Dig around and see how many more projects we can get our hands on. Let's reel them all in, he whispered to me on the side. Hell no. That guy's got no heart, no brains, just greed. If landing Ningcheng's contracts were as simple as selling my charm, why the hell wouldn't I just start my own company? If I'm really that good, why am I still working for this clown? So he gets the steak while I sip the soup? Forget this crap job. If I've got to starve, might as well enjoy the seasonal breeze. Jennifer turned to me with a pleasant smile and extended her hand. Luke, I'll be counting on you during the project. Today she wore a stylish blazer dress in a soft shade of blue that made her skin look fresh and luminous. The sleek cut hugged her curves, and a subtle slit on the side offered glimpses of her long, fair legs. Her face was slightly round, and when she smiled, her eyes curved like crescent moons, just like I remembered. My heart skipped a beat, then started pounding. Before I knew what I was doing, I took her hand. It was still the same small, warm, and soft. I heard myself say, "Sure, I'll go get my things." Jennifer must have teamed up with Tony to screw me over. It's been a week since I foolishly agreed to work at Ning Chung. In all that time, I haven't been assigned a single real task. Makes sense, though. What tech talent doesn't Ning Chung have? Our valedictorian Kyle works here, and even he's just a low-level supervisor. Jennifer set my desk right across from her private office. With the blinds up, she could see everything. I racked my brain trying to remember the name of that greasy trust fund guy she left me for. Smith, wasn't it? Jason Smith, maybe? Who would have thought? He looked dumb as a brick, but apparently runs a massive business empire. So maybe Jennifer doesn't have bad taste after all. Maybe she just has a sharp eye. If I weren't the sucker she dumped, I might have even praised her for it. Everyone at Ning Chang was curious about me. Kyle came by to ask what position Jennifer hired me for. "Are you the new tech director or something?" I quickly waved him off. My best trait is knowing my limits. He eyed me suspiciously. "So what's your role then?" I had no idea myself, so I just smiled bitterly and shook my head. A few days later, rumors started swirling apparently. I was some boy toy Jennifer had poached with a high salary, and the reason I wasn't given real work was because my job was to keep her happy. And Jennifer wasn't exactly trying to deny it. She never took me to any meetings. The tasks she gave me were all pointless errands. Like today, she called me into her office and handed me a flyer. A famous dessert shop was having its grand opening. Everything was 51% off. She said, "I want the strawberry cream croissant. Oh, and this one, the chocolate lava cake. Get extras for the team as a treat for their overtime." When I got there, the place was mobbed. Hundreds of people in line. The line moved slower than a snail on tranquilizers. After a short while, I was already freezing my ass off. Worst part, everyone else had a partner to switch out with someone to hold the spot, while the other went to pee or grab food. Me, I was alone. My feet had gone numb, and my legs were aching. Even worse, my bladder was about to burst. I turned to the dude in front of me, a skinny kid with bleached blonde hair. "Bro, I really need to go. I'm right behind you, okay? Please, hold my spot." He smiled and gave me an okay sign. "No problem, man. Go ahead." But when I came back and tried to return to my spot, a woman behind him blocked me. "Where do you think you're going? Tall dude like you, all dressed up and still cutting the line?" No, I was just standing behind this guy," I explained quickly, patting the blonde kid on the shoulder. "Hey, hands off." "I don't know you," he snapped, brushing off the spot where I touched him like I was diseased. Before I could say anything, the woman jumped in again. "You got no shame, trying to sneak in like that?" I didn't want to argue with a random woman, so I turned back to the kid. "Seriously, bro? What the hell?" He gave me a once-over, crossed his arms. "Tell you what, you look desperate. I'll let you stand here for 500 yuan. He grinned. "Honestly, if you hired a Q-sitter online, in this weather and for a shop this popular, that's the going rate." The woman chimed in. "Or you can buy from us." Skip the line. Little pastries, 100 yuan extra each. Cakes, 500 each. Minimum 5 items. She stepped aside, revealing a whole row of neatly stacked takeout bags behind her. Oh, great. Turns out I'd stumbled right into a scalper's den. The two of them putting on that act made me laugh out of sheer anger. Why don't you just go rob people outright? The guy gave me a sidelong glance. "Bro, judging by how you're dressed, you're at least a white-collar worker. Buying this for your girlfriend, right? Can't spare a little cash?" He snorted and turned to the crowd, saying, "With someone this stingy, what poor girl must have had terrible karma to end up with him? Better hope she dumps you for some rich guy and saves herself." A bunch of people around him, clearly his crew, joined in the heckling. I shook out my freezing arms and stomped my numb legs. Next thing I knew, I swung hard and landed a left hook right on his shameless mug. He spun in place, spit flying. The woman next to him shrieked, and a few more thug-looking guys closed in. One-on-one, I could have taken him no problem. These stick-thin punks were light work, but they outnumbered me. And that woman kept rushing in to claw at me, messing up my rhythm. I ended up a bit worse for wear, shirt torn and face bruised. Someone in the crowd called the cops, and both sides got hauled off in wailing squad cars. Honestly, the station was so warm and cozy, I didn't even feel like leaving. The cops said I threw the first punch and asked if I could settle with the other side. Then they told me those punks were repeat offenders, petty theft, constant complaints, and minor records to their names. No point making a big deal, one officer said. Just then, a voice came through the radio. They said someone had come to pick me up. When I stepped out, I ran smack into Jennifer. The scumbag saw her too and whistled, "Damn, this idiot's chick is hot." Must have taken a blow to the head to fall for him. Flashing those legs in this weather? She's spicy. Babe, ditch that broke loser and find yourself a sugar daddy. I was just about to start swearing when Jennifer marched right over and slapped the guy hard across the face in front of the cops. She pulled a USB stick from her purse and pointed at him. I've got footage from the mall security cams. Try me. I'll report you for illegal business operations, inciting a brawl, extortion. You'll be behind bars so fast your head'll spin. The blonde thug froze for 2 seconds, then flew into a rage. But before he could move, the cops pinned him down. "What the hell do you think you're doing? No one makes a move," said a female officer as she stepped between them. The police told the blonde punk to chill. Since it was mutual combat and they clearly ganged up on me, plus the illegal ticket scalping, they had more to lose. Eventually, the guy and his crew backed down and begged for a settlement. When we left the station, Jennifer motioned for me to get in her car. I hesitated, but got in anyway. On the ride, she scolded me for getting into a fight just trying to buy some desserts. I didn't say a word. The car stopped outside a very upscale restaurant. Jennifer walked in, saying we'd eat first and talk work later. I didn't stand on ceremony. I went in hard on the chicken, duck, and fish. After stuffing myself, I wiped my mouth. "Miss Jennifer, I quit. Tell Tony to send someone else." She looked surprised, then smiled. "What, you're giving up on all of Ning Cheng's future business?" I pulled out my access badge and tossed it on the table. "Screw that. I'm just a working stiff, not some rich-in-law like you. I know you've got it out for me and wanted to mess with me. You've done that now, right?" With that, I didn't wait for a response. Limping, I headed home. Turns out the restaurant was near my place. Free feast and no cab fare, small wins. Gotta save money where I can. Just as I got home, Tony called. Quit? Hell no. I don't approve. I didn't even respond, just hung up. He called right back, voice softer this time. "If you don't want to stay at Ning Cheng, come back here. Why talk about quitting? Have I ever treated you badly? You're a grown-ass man." I thought about it, then laid all my cards on the table. Let me be real. Me and Jennifer have history. If you want a long-term partnership with Ning Cheng, step one is getting rid of me. Tony let out a hiss through the phone. "No way." "I've got a sharp eye. I think she likes you." I almost laughed out loud. Her? Like someone? That woman just wants to screw with me. You know what they're saying at Ning Cheng? That I'm her kept man. Forget projects. I haven't even touched the conference room door. Whatever. I'm done talking. I took 2 days off and started job hunting. Strangely, I had great interviews with several companies, but none followed up. One of them had practically hired me, but still backed out last minute. I asked why. The HR manager hemmed and hawed until I got the hint it was a failed background check. Pretty sure it wasn't Tony. He might be greedy, but he's not a bad guy. Jennifer? She must be trying to force me to submit. Look, I need money. Sure, but I'm not gonna crawl for it. I signed up for a food delivery gig and started running orders. At first, I had no idea what I was doing. Bad routes, poor timing, and even got fined for a few complaints. It was rough. My mortgage was due soon. I bit the bullet and borrowed 10 grand from a friend. That's when Kyle called. He'd heard I quit and said he knew a company looking for a tech manager. Asked if I was interested. "It's not a big company. Nothing like Ning Cheng," he added. No, I really appreciate it," I said. Honestly, Tony's company wasn't that big either. "We went to the same college, no need to be formal," Kyle said. After a pause, he added, "And don't blame the HR team. They have to follow orders. Miss Jennifer isn't a bad person, just a bit hot-tempered. This new company is solid. Good pay, decent leadership. You'll like it." I went for the interview at Kyle's recommendation. Their guy, Mr. Juan, was really impressed and got me on board the same day. He gave me a tour. Explained that the company was still new but had plenty of projects, so they needed manpower. He even asked if I knew any solid colleagues I could refer. Said they'd offer top pay. I gave the usual polite response. Said I could tell the company had real potential. With this many projects so early on, you're clearly doing something right. If I know any good people, I'll recommend them. Once I got settled in, Mr. Wan had me start sitting in on business meetings, tech support during pitches. But the more I listened, the more something felt off. They were going after Ning Cheng's contracts. Some of Ning Cheng's upcoming work was being outsourced, like Tony's company used to do. But this company wasn't playing around. They were actively targeting Ning Cheng, stalking every project like a hungry wolf. When they couldn't win over decision makers with money, they launched a price war. It was like the company wasn't founded to make a profit, but just to crush the competition. Some of my coworkers started gossiping, but Mr. Juan explained it all away. We're building brand awareness, increasing market share, and enhancing our reputation. Of course, we need to benchmark ourselves against the industry leaders. After thinking it over, I called up Tony. He sounded half asleep, slurring a bit until he realized it was me. Then he perked up. I asked how business was going. He was quiet for a while before saying, "Feeding you still no problem. Come back." The tone of his voice told me things weren't going well. I told him I wasn't planning to return just yet. His tone instantly shifted, full of resentment. I didn't believe it when people told me, but now I do. You've climbed your way up. Whatever issues you had with Miss Jennifer, that's between you two. But what did I ever do to you? Juan Perez isn't a good guy. Nothing good's gonna come from working under him. Lately, more and more people had been joining the new company, Carlos among them. The same guy who liked that cute round-faced girl. He looked surprised to see me and quietly asked about my salary package. Everyone said you left this industry for good. Never thought we'd end up co-workers again. He patted me on the shoulder. Carlos was a senior guy from Tony's place. If they managed to poach even him, things must be going badly over there. I didn't expect him to ask. You didn't hear? Tony shut the place down. I shook my head. What happened? He tossed his cigarette to the ground and stomped it hard. Come on. Lost the projects and the people. How's he supposed to stay afloat? Didn't Tony just land a contract with Ning Cheng? No idea what went wrong, but after that, Ning Cheng pulled every single project. People are saying it's because you pissed off their female president. You walked out and Tony caught the fallout. I saw Jennifer again a few days later. I was pacing outside her apartment when I saw her car approaching from a distance. My hands were freezing, and I gave her a sheepish wave. Seeing her again like this stirred up complicated feelings so much that I didn't even have the nerve to be mad. Back in college, I was on the basketball team. Even during the bitter cold, we had to get up early for practice. So many times when I came downstairs, she'd be there waiting just like I was now. Shoulders hunched, nose red from the cold, pulling out warm buns and soy milk from her coat to make sure I ate before training. Now, I was standing in her old shoes. Maybe that's just how people are. As much as I say I hate her, when I see something familiar, the first thing I remember is her kindness. But I know she must hate me. She was always ambitious and sharp-tongued. Back in college, she got into the student council's outreach team after a rigorous selection process. She landed sponsorships for tons of school events. Teachers loved her. Classmates envied her. People whispered that she used shady tactics. She ignored it all. But after we broke up, I called her unfaithful, accused her of having no taste. With me as the insider witness, all the old rumors came back, and a few senior girls who'd always disliked her worked together to get her kicked out of the council. She quickly filed for a leave of absence, and we never saw each other again until graduation. Later, I sometimes wondered, should I have asked her back then if something was wrong? Was she really short on cash? Is that why she went for that fat slob, Jason? Even if she lied, at least I'd have gotten closure. Suddenly, I wanted to ask her all that, even if it was too late. Let's go. Dinner's on me, I said. I took her to get Chongqing hot pot, her favorite. I can't handle spicy food at all. Funny thing is, back in college, she was always the one making dietary sacrifices for me. We sat there, eating in silence, steam rising from the bubbling pot. The spicy scent hit me hard, making me cough. When we were nearly done, I finally asked, "If you've got a problem with me, fine. But what's Tony got to do with it?" She put her chopsticks down. "Luke, what's that supposed to mean?" Exactly what it sounds like. I know you hate me for what happened back then. You finally made it, and now have your chance to screw me over, so go ahead. But why drag Tony into it? Are you crazy, Luke? she snapped, standing up. You waited outside my building just to throw shade at me? Hey, no, I'm not done. What's your rush? I motioned for her to sit. You think you're all that, but let's be honest, you didn't get here all on your own. You had help. I saw her eyes turn red. Must have been the spicy hot pot, right? Luke, maybe you don't know, and that's fine. But don't talk out of your ass. After all these years, you're still the same damn guy. She was glaring at me, practically grinding her teeth. Just then, a fat guy stumbled past and knocked my phone to the floor. He looked drunk, barely glanced our way, didn't even say sorry. Just as he was about to walk off, he doubled back. Well, isn't that a gorgeous woman? Jennifer, right? The voice sounded familiar. I looked again, unbelievable. Of all the luck, it was Jason. He didn't recognize me, but something about the way he talked sounded off. Weren't they still together? Jennifer gave me a look and motioned to change locations, but Jason wouldn't have it. He squeezed in next to me with a smirk. So this is your type, huh? Still into pretty boys, huh, Jennifer? I remember your college crush looked just like this guy. What? Your dad died, so now you're back on the market? Then he picked up my phone from the floor, patted my shoulder. Sorry, Ro didn't mean to knock that down. The next second, he slammed it into the hot pot. Boiling red oil splashed onto Jennifer's arm, and she let out a sharp cry. I landed a punch straight into that greasy, smug face of his. And just like that, Jennifer and I found ourselves riding in a police car together again. One punch knocked Jason out cold. At the hospital, they treated Jennifer's arm first, then examined the fat bastard. Nothing wrong, just drunk, the doctor said. Since he had started the fight while drunk, destroyed my phone worth thousands, and injured someone, he'd probably be sobering up in a cell. Jennifer and I were let go soon after. I walked her to her door. She turned and said, "This is my home. Mine." So what about that Fatas, I asked. I'd seen them in the same car, commuting together. Back then, she was like me, just a regular student living on campus. After getting with Jason, suddenly she had a private driver and walked around in luxury clothes and accessories. This can't be made up, right? She said quietly. It's true. Jason's mom was my dad's mistress. My eyes widened. Damn. This family tree was a mess. Bet you didn't see that coming. The mistress ended up living better than the wife. Jason was born to her and her ex-husband, but that didn't stop my dad from playing happy family with them. Meanwhile, my mom and I got tossed aside. Men's logic, huh? I cut in. Don't generalize. Your dad was messed up. That's not on all men. Later, my mom found out my dad planned to write his will early. We'd already lost everything. No way I was letting him leave the whole company to Jason. So I thick-skinned my way into Jason's life, hanging out at Dad's place every day. Jason's mom might have been the side chick, but she loved pretending to be a classy socialite, super image conscious. Her biggest fear was people gossiping behind her back, so she was polite to me in public. Then my mom made some moves and got a chunk of shares from my dad. After cashing out, she started Ning Chung. The Liu family threw a huge tantrum over it. But good days didn't last. Just 2 years later, my mom was diagnosed with late-stage stomach cancer. My head was spinning. I asked hoarsely, "Why didn't you tell me any of this?" She shot me a resentful look. "Why didn't I? You never gave me the chance. You never asked." When people started talking shit, not only did you believe them, you helped stab me in the back. I was already overwhelmed at the time, and then I thought, what's the point of dating anymore? I was about to take a leave from school anyway, so I let it go. Damn, so in your eyes, I wasn't even worth explaining to? Not even worth trying to save? Halfway through my sentence, I lost steam. And what right did I have to talk? I heard someone say she got in Jason's car, and I, like a complete moron, believed it. Got drunk, cried to a bunch of loudmouths, and let them say they'd get justice for me. I even sent them red envelopes like some idiot. If I were her and had a boyfriend that dumb, would I want him back? Hell no! I'd punch him in the face and call that closure. I wanted to say I'm sorry, but my throat felt choked with too many words. She read my face and said, "You're not about to say sorry, are you?" Don't bother. Late apologies are more pathetic than stray dogs. That one hit like a slap. I was about to talk back when she abruptly changed the subject. You know why your boss Tony shut down? Right. I'd been telling her about Tony before Jason showed up. You sure that had nothing to do with you? Seeing her brows furrow again, I quickly said, and that company Angson, they've declared war on you, right? You must have lost a bunch of projects too. She nodded. Angson started by gutting small firms. Those companies couldn't withstand the financial squeeze. They grew fat on those corpses, and now they're going head to head with the big fish. Tony lost several projects, and they poached a bunch of his staff. He got so worked up, he had a stroke cerebral hemorrhage. Luckily, it wasn't severe, but the doctors said there could be long-term effects, slurred speech, mild paralysis. So I gave him some money and bought the company. It lets him rest and gives him cash on hand. No wonder Tony sounded groggy and irritable when I called. I hadn't thought much of it at the time. He didn't want to shut down. He was still worried about you and about the rest of the staff's future. She hadn't changed. Still sharp-tongued, but loyal and righteous underneath. Thank you for what you did for Tony. I'll repay that money and buy the company back for him. That's nothing. By the way, do you know who really owns Angson? She asked, shifting gears. Isn't it that guy named Perez? He's just the face of the operation. The real money behind it? The Smith family. Jason and his mom. My dad's dead now, and they've got a pile of cash, so now they're stirring up trouble everywhere, trying to ruin me. Then let me be honest with you, I'm working at Angson right now. Damn it, I'm quitting tomorrow. I was practically seething. She rolled her eyes. God, can you stop reacting like a hothead and use that pig brain of yours for once? I didn't assign you real tasks on purpose. I wanted the traders in that place to believe we were on bad terms, to see you as a reliable target to recruit. I busted my ass to get you into Angson, and now you say you're quitting? So that's what it was. Judging from today, Jason didn't recognize me at all. I was safe. Kyle was the one who got me the job, which meant he was tight with Angson. I nodded. Got it. I know what to do now. I threw myself into work, even pulling overtime. If Angson liked poaching clients with undercut prices, then fine, let them. Their reputation for dirty pricing tactics was already widespread. None of the small firms wanted to outsource to them anymore. Everyone had seen what happened. Feed the wolf, and you're next on the menu. And all those dirt-cheap deals meant hiring more staff, pushing their labor costs even higher. I led the charge, introducing our sales team to clients I'd worked with before, helping them pitch, find leads, chase projects. I heard that in one internal meeting, Jennifer made it clear. Ning Cheng wasn't going to burn cash in a price war with Angson. When Juan heard that, he scoffed. She thinks she can stay above it all. But clients aren't stupid. When she's lost every last project, let's see how high and mighty she stays. It didn't take long for Angson's name to become infamous across the industry. Their prices were dirt cheap, and they had a surprisingly deep bench of experienced staff. Then came the year-end mega project, a big contract up for bidding. Small companies couldn't handle it. Payment cycles too long. Only the major players had a shot. That day, Juan called me into his office. First, he praised my recent performance, said I was proactive and hardworking. After the pleasantries, he started probing, asking for key details from similar past projects. I said I didn't know much about internal records, but I did have a good friend at Ning Cheng. Word was, Ning Cheng was going all in on the year-end bid. Juan stared at me for a full 30 seconds, trying to gauge if I was telling the truth. But Jennifer's been saying she won't participate in dirty competition. Mister Juan, I treat Angson like home now. You've seen how hard I've worked. He went quiet, then nodded for me to go on. I kept my tone steady. If you lose this major client, Ning Cheng's going to take a serious hit. If you were in Jennifer's shoes, what would you do? To be honest, I've known her for years. She's tough. She'll look for a chance to strike back. Juan finally smiled and gave a nod. After the bids opened, I deliberately asked around to see which companies had purchased the bidding documents. Sure enough, Ning Cheng was first on the list. Just as I'd predicted, they were going head-to-head with Angson this time, locking horns over every decimal. Even when Angson tried to feel out the client for inside info, they got nothing but cold shoulders. Jason started getting restless. I saw him storm into the general manager's office several times, throwing fits. I've poured in this much money. If you can't take Ning Cheng down, get the hell out. When he left, Juan looked like he'd swallowed a cactus. Getting yelled at by a clueless outsider had to sting. At the final round of bidding, Angson once again slashed their price, while Ning Cheng raised theirs. Angson won the bid. Jason was still celebrating like a fool, unaware that the senior staff, those who knew better, were already updating their resumes. It was a massive project with long payment terms and practically zero profit. A flaming hot potato no one wanted but also couldn't drop. Outsiders envied it, but only the ones holding it knew the pain. By the time the Liu family realized what they'd walked into, Juan had already resigned and vanished. Still, this kind of move hurts both sides. Even Ning Cheng didn't come out ahead. Angson had already turned the market into a chaotic mess, and Ning Cheng couldn't bounce back to its former glory overnight. Jennifer, however, said it was the perfect chance to weed out the long-hidden bad apples. With the market in a slump, it was the ideal time to downsize. She'd seen through Kyle a long time ago. After I quit, he was the one secretly sabotaging my interviews. All because he wanted to exploit my history with Jennifer, my resentment and familiarity, to make sure I got into Angson, a textbook snake. Luckily, we finally had a chance to deal with him. Jennifer reopened Tony's old studio and assigned Kyle as the lead. He looked down on the small company, thinking it was just a disguised emotion. Realizing he had no future at Ning Chung, he threw a tantrum and left. Word was, he tried to join Angson. Since he was Juan's guy and Juan had bailed, leaving Jason fuming, Jason set a trap. He offered a high salary to lure Kyle into an interview, and then publicly humiliated him. Kyle, arrogant as ever, snapped. They got into a fight, and Jason had his men beat him up so bad he landed in the hospital. I don't know how long he'll be out, but it's serious enough to warrant jail time. This industry's small. Once I pieced it all together, I laughed like a pig. Watching snakes eat each other, what a show! I took over Tony's studio, kept the same name, and reopened shop in place. I called him to report in and told him, once he recovered, I'd do my best to buy the company back from Jennifer. Tony's speech had improved a lot since our last call. He scolded me. You dumbass. If you end up with Jennifer, you won't have to pay a dime. Forget my little company, half of Ning Chung will be yours someday. I cleared my throat awkwardly. Come on, boss Tony. Uncle Tony, you need to rest. Don't let me disturb you. He got worked up again. You think I care about money? I'm telling you, Jennifer still has feelings for you. I swear on my life. Please. Your brain already hemorrhaged once. No one wants your life. Just keep it and stay healthy. I'm hanging up now. Luke! You think I don't know? Some drunk fool don't know who grabbed her at a party and started yelling her name. Jennifer! Jennifer! You only live once, damn it. Just don't regret it later. Tony's voice echoed through the car's Bluetooth speaker. I quickly hung up at a red light and glanced in the rearview mirror. Jennifer was in the back seat with her eyes closed. Was she asleep? Hopefully. I let out a long sigh. She had stopped at the hospital to get her dressing changed before meeting a client. The burn on her arm had mostly healed, just a faint pink patch left. The doctor said if she took care of it, it wouldn't scar. Honestly, I felt terrible about it. I didn't know if she'd heard Tony's rant, but his words kept ringing in my ears. You only live once. I didn't want regrets. On the way down, I barked loudly, woof! Woof! Inside the elevator, a mother and daughter looked at me warily and shuffled into the corner. Jennifer stared at me. Did the elevator door squash your brain just now? Woof! 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 Enough? Or should I keep going? The elevator door opened, and the mother and daughter bolted out. Luke, what the hell are you doing? She said, pressing the door open button like she wanted to run too. Jennifer, didn't you say once that late affection is more pathetic than a dog? Well, I don't care anymore. I'll be the dog. Screw apologies. They're useless. I just want to chase you again. Even if we're on different levels now, I've got thick skin. I'm not scared. You want a prenup? I'll sign whatever you want. But if you really feel nothing for me anymore, just slap me. Call it my punishment. From today on, I'll give up the idea and focus on building our business together. I'll pay Tony back as soon as I can. I don't know why, but as I said all that, a wave of tragic determination hit me. My throat burned, and I almost teared up. Thankfully, I held it in. She paused for 3 seconds, then smacked me hard across the face. The sound echoed so loud that an old man walking by dropped his stainless steel lunchbox. My head buzzed like a balloon ready to pop, sweat beating on my forehead. Jennifer, you didn't have to go that hard. It was a free slap, not a murder attempt. You're scaring people. The left side of my face went numb. But just as she let go, the elevator doors closed again. There, you slapped me. Now we're even, right? Why is it always either or? I say no. That slap was for what you owe me. She stepped in close, grabbed my collar, and smirked. Luke, you got slapped, and you still have to chase me again. I stared into her mischievous eyes and muttered, damn.